My name is John, and I am a 32-year-old man living in a quiet town. Most people would describe me as laid-back, friendly, and always willing to lend a hand. I had a beautiful home, a decent job, and a girlfriend named Sarah who I thought was my world. However, beneath the surface of our seemingly perfect relationship, I was blissfully unaware of the storm brewing just out of sight. I prided myself on being trusting and caring, but that very trust was about to come crashing down around me like a tower of cards. One evening, as I lay on the couch flicking through television channels, my phone buzzed. It was Sarah. I was taken aback when I saw a notification that she had shared something on social media. Intrigued, I clicked on it and my heart sank to the pit of my stomach. She had tagged another guy in a post with a message that read, "So happy to spend time with you." In my gut, I knew instantly that something was wrong. Who was this guy, and why was she spending time with him without telling me? I felt a tight knot form in my stomach as confusion turned into an unsettling curiosity. Hoping it was a misunderstanding, I decided to talk to Sarah about it. But when I confronted her, she shrugged it off, insisting he was just a friend. The more she spoke, the more I felt my heart ache. I wanted to believe her, but logic told me otherwise. I could feel my world tipping on its axis. As I dug deeper, social media became my enemy. I took my investigation online, searching for any clues to unravel this web of deceit. My blood boiled when I discovered that they had exchanged messages that were clearly more than just friendly chit-chat. I felt the betrayal like a physical blow, and the urge to find out the truth made me feel alive in a way I hadn't felt in a long time. I decided I had to confront her again, armed with all the evidence I had gathered. I could no longer just sit back and accept the possibility of losing everything. But when I brought up the messages and the social media post once more, her expression changed from nonchalance to anger. Instead of admitting to anything, she accused me of invading her privacy and insisted I was overreacting. In that moment, my frustration boiled over, and I demanded answers. She stormed off, leaving me standing there, feeling more lost and confused than ever. I thought I could save our relationship, but instead it only made things worse. In the weeks that followed, things spiraled further out of control. Sarah became increasingly distant. I tried to reach out, hoping we could find a way through the mess together, but each attempt was met with cold shoulders and sharp words. I was desperate to uncover the truth. My mental state spiraled as I hunted for more evidence and devised a plan to catch her in the act. It was a low point, and I found myself losing track of what was real and what was not. My friends noticed my change in behavior and urged me to let it go, but I could not bear the thought of being betrayed. Weeks later, I finally stumbled upon the bombshell I had been searching for, a text message that revealed everything. She was planning a weekend getaway with this friend of hers, and the message left no room for doubt. I felt like a fool. It was getting harder to sleep, and my heart raced at the thought of tracking her plans. Instead of backing down, I decided to execute my revenge. I gathered all my evidence and planned to confront them publicly. My feelings of betrayal morphed into anger, and that anger became my fuel. On the night of their getaway, I arrived at the destination I had discovered. My pulse raced as I prepared myself for what was to unfold next. I had the damning evidence in my pocket and a heart full of fury. The sun began to set as I positioned myself where I could see the entrance to the cabin they had rented. Each ticking second felt like an eternity. When Sarah arrived with that guy, it was like everything around me faded. I tackled my emotions and waited for the right moment. It took everything in me not to confront her right then and there, but I was calculating. I waited for them to settle in before I unleashed my plan. The next morning, as they emerged from the cabin, blissfully unaware of what I had prepared, I made my entrance known. I strode in with confidence, a smirk painted on my face as I pulled out my phone, flashing every text, every message. Their faces transformed. Confusion turned into panic. I could feel my heart pounding in my chest, the adrenaline surging through my veins as Sarah's face contorted in shock and disbelief. The guy beside her fumbled his words, trying to explain, but I could see the truth hidden behind his nervous eyes. "You have just been exposed," I said, my voice rising, filled with a mixture of triumph and vindication. "So much for your little secret." The thrill of finally obtaining the truth flooded me with a surge of power. I had her right where I wanted her. The shame and embarrassment washed over her, and I felt satisfaction coursing through my veins. This was my moment of justice. As they stood there stammering, I turned on my heel and walked away, leaving them to deal with the consequences of their actions. I steadily returned to my own home, feeling a weight lifting off my shoulders as I realized how empowering it felt to take control of my own destiny. I knew this twisted game of betrayal had taken me to dark places, but I had stood my ground. Days turned into weeks, and life continued. I processed my feelings of hurt and betrayal. Despite needing time to heal, I found the strength to pick myself up and move forward. I realized my worth, and I started to pour my energy into personal growth instead of revenge. I learned to fill my life with friends who genuinely cared about me, and I took up hobbies that made me happy. The experience shifted my perspective about trust and the type of people I wanted in my life. Eventually, I reached a new normal. I found peace within myself and learned what it truly meant to be resilient. Although my heart was scarred, it also allowed me to acknowledge my strength. Life was no longer about vengeance, it was about seeking happiness. Even though I had initially entered that dark world of revenge, I left it behind, embracing a path of healing. Just when I thought I had transitioned completely, I received an unexpected message one day. It was Sarah, apologizing, wanting to explain. But instead of longing for old memories or diving into that messy past, I deleted the message with a smile, knowing that I had reclaimed my life.